Let me show you two people. Person A buys a $400,000 home in 2024. 20% down payment, that's $80,000 cash. Monthly mortgage, $2,100. They're told they're building wealth. Person B takes that same $80,000, puts it in an S&P 500 index fund, rents a similar home for $1,500 a month, invests the $600 difference every single month. 25 years later, who is richer? Most people will say person A, the homeowner. The real answer will shock you. My name is Henry, and today I am going to show you the exact math, dollar by dollar, behind the biggest financial decision of your life. No opinions, no emotions, just numbers. Let's get into it. This debate has been going on for decades. Buy a house, build equity, stop throwing money away on rent. Or rent, stay flexible, invest the difference, let the market work for you. And here's the problem. Most people make this decision based on emotion, not math. They buy because society tells them to, because their parents tell them to, because owning a home feels like success. But feelings don't build wealth. Numbers do. So let me give you the full picture, because this decision, made correctly, can mean the difference between retiring comfortably at 55 or working until you're 70. Let's start with the real cost of buying a home, and I promise you, most people have never seen these numbers laid out this clearly.
Let's use a real example. You buy a $400,000 home in 2024. Step 1. Down payment. 20% down equals $80,000 cash out of pocket on day 1. Step 2. Mortgage. Remaining loan, $320,000. Interest rate, 7%. That is the current average in 2024. 30-year fixed mortgage. Monthly payment, $2,129. Step 3. Total interest paid. Over 30 years, you will pay $320,000 in principal plus $446,000 in interest. Total paid to the bank, $766,000 for a $400,000 home. Let that sink in. You paid almost double the price of the home just in interest alone. But wait, we are not done. Step 4. Hidden costs. Property taxes, $367 a month. Homeowner's insurance, $125 a month. Maintenance and repairs, $333 a month. So your total monthly cost of owning, mortgage, $2,129. Property tax, $367. Insurance, $125. Maintenance, $333. Total, $2,954 per month. Most people think their mortgage is their housing cost. It is not. The real cost is nearly $3,000 a month for a $400,000 home. Now let's look at what this home is worth after 30 years. The average U.S. home appreciates at 3.5% per year. $400,000 growing at 3.5% for 30 years, $1,122,000. Sounds great, right? But let's calculate your actual profit. Total spent, $1,143,000. Home value after 30 years, $1,122,000. Net result, negative $21,000. Now, before you panic, I want to be fair. You have $1.12 million in home equity. That is real wealth. And you had a place to live for 30 years. But here is the question. Could you have done better by renting and investing? Let's find out. Now let's look at person B, the renter. Same city, similar home. Monthly rent, $1,500. Step 1. Invest the down payment. Person B takes that same $80,000, invests it in S&P 500 on day 1. Historical average return, 10.1% per year. $80,000 invested for 30 years, $1,430,000. That one investment alone, just from not putting money into a down payment, grows to $1.43 million. Step 2. Invest the monthly difference. Person A pays $2,954 a month. Person B pays $1,500 a month. Monthly difference, $1,454. Person B invests $1,454 every month into S&P 500 at 10.1% annual return over 30 years, $3,260,000. Step 3. Total wealth after 30 years. Down payment investment,
$1,430,000. Monthly investment, $3,260,000. Total, $4,690,000. Now compare that to the homeowner. Homeowner's net worth, $1,122,000. Renter plus investor net worth, $4,690,000. Difference, $3,568,000. The renter, who was told they were throwing money away, is $3.5 million richer than the homeowner. Now, I know what you were thinking. Henry, rent goes up every year. And you are right. Average rent increase per year, 3%. Starting rent $1,500 increasing 3% per year. By year 30, monthly rent $3,640. Adjusted total wealth, approximately $3,100,000. Still, $2 million more than the homeowner. Meet the Johnsons. Both working, combined income $110,000 a year. They saved $80,000 over 5 years for a down payment. In 2021, at the peak of the market, they bought a $450,000 home. Interest rate, 3.2%. Monthly mortgage, $1,560. Everything looked great. Then, 2022 happened. Interest rates went from 3% to 7% in 18 months, the fastest rise in 40 years. Home prices in their area dropped 12%. Their $450,000 home was now worth $396,000. They owed $430,000 on it. They were underwater. Mr. Johnson's company downsized. He lost his job. They could not sell the home because selling meant a $34,000 loss plus realtor fees. They could not rent it because the mortgage was higher than rental income. They were stuck. Trapped in a home they could not afford, could not sell, and could not rent. This is the risk nobody tells you about when they say, buy a house, build wealth. Now here is the flip side. Meet the Garcias. Same income, same $80,000 saved, but they chose to rent and invest in 2021. When the market crashed in 2022, they felt nothing. No mortgage, no underwater home, no trapped feeling. When Mr. Garcia lost his job, they simply moved to a cheaper apartment, reduced expenses, survived. Their investments dropped 20% in 2022, but recovered fully by 2023. And they kept investing through the dip, buying more shares at lower prices. The difference between the Johnsons and the Garcias was not income, not intelligence, not luck. It was one financial decision, made with emotion versus made with math. So when does buying a home make sense? Let me show you exactly. Condition 1. You plan to stay 7 or more years. The break-even point for buying versus renting is typically 5 to 7 years. In the first 5 years, most of your mortgage goes to interest, not principal. If you sell before you're 7, you will likely lose money after realtor fees and closing costs. Real math, buy $400,000 home, sell after 3 years at $430,000. Looks like a $30,000 gain, but subtract realtor fees $25,800, plus closing costs $8,000, plus maintenance $12,000, actual loss $15,800. Condition 2. Your rent is higher than your ownership cost. New York City, average one-bedroom rent $3,500 a month. San Francisco, $3,200 a month. If your rent is higher than your total ownership cost, buying wins immediately. Condition 3. You buy at a low interest rate. At 3% interest, $400,000 home costs $1,686 a month. At 7% interest, same home costs $2,129 a month. That is $443 more per month, $159,480 over 30 years. Interest rate changes everything. Condition 4. You have strong job security and roots. A home is not just an investment, it is a lifestyle decision. If you have children in school, aging parents nearby, a stable career in one city, buying provides stability that renting cannot. Stability has real value. Just do not confuse stability with wealth building. Condition 1. You are in a high-cost city. Cities where renting plus investing clearly wins. San Francisco, New York, Los Angeles, Seattle, Boston. In these cities, the price-to-rent ratio is so high that buying almost never makes mathematical sense. Price-to-rent ratio explained. Divide home price by annual rent. $800,000 home divided by $24,000 annual rent. Ratio of 33. Any ratio above 20, renting is almost always better. Any ratio below 15, buying starts to make more sense. Condition 2. You are young and mobile.
In your 20s and early 30s, flexibility is your greatest asset. Career opportunities, relationships, lifestyle changes, they require mobility. A mortgage chains you to one location. Renting keeps your options open. Condition 3. You are a disciplined investor. Here is the most important condition, and the one most people fail. The rent plus invest strategy only works if you actually invest the difference. If you rent for $1,500 instead of owning for $2,954, but you spend that extra $1,454 on lifestyle, you build zero wealth. The math only works with discipline.
Here is what smart middle-class families actually do. Phase 1, ages 22 to 32. Rent. Keep expenses low. Invest aggressively in index funds. At 10% annual return, $500 a month invested for 10 years, $102,000. Build your investment base first. Phase 2, ages 32 to 40. Now evaluate buying, but only if price to rent ratio is below 20 in your city. Interest rates are favorable. You plan to stay 7+ years, you have 20% down payment without emptying your investment account, and your total housing cost is below 28% of gross income. Phase 3, ages 40+. Whether you own or rent, maximize retirement accounts. 401k up to employer match, always. Roth IRA, $7,000 a year maximum in 2024. Index funds, consistent monthly investment. The truth is this, the house versus rent debate is the wrong question. The right question is, are you building wealth consistently, regardless of where you live? A $400,000 home in a stable city bought at 3% interest by a family planning to stay 20 years? Brilliant decision. A $600,000 condo in San Francisco bought at 7% interest by a 28-year-old who might move in 3 years? Potentially catastrophic. Context, numbers, math, not emotion. So let me bring this all together. The question is not, should I buy or rent? The question is, what does the math say for my specific situation? Here is your checklist before making this decision. Number 1, calculate your price to rent ratio. Above 20? Renting likely wins. Number 2, how long will you stay? Less than 7 years? Renting almost always wins. Number 3, what is your interest rate? Above 6%? The math heavily favors renting. Number 4, will you actually invest the difference? If not, buying forces savings. Number 5, what percentage of your income is housing? Above 30%? You are house poor. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Buying a home is not always the path to wealth, but neither is renting if you spend everything you save. The path to wealth is simple. Live below your means. Invest the difference. Stay consistent. Let time and compounding do the work. Whether you own 4 walls or rent them, the fundamentals never change. Build assets. Reduce liabilities. Invest early. Invest often. That is how you get rich. Not by following what everyone else does, but by understanding the numbers behind every decision you make. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you currently renting or buying? And after watching this video, do you think you made the right decision? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this video gave you real value, share it with someone who is about to make this decision right now. A friend, a sibling, a coworker, because the information in this video could literally save them hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm Henry, and I'll see you in the next one.